morning, everyone. Oh, sound like a fella. How are you today? It is Monday, Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Monday was yesterday. Took that shower last night, ended the vlog, and then I said to Ash, I can't keep my eyes open. I am so tired. But this morning when I woke up and I looked over here, I'm like, you want to know, every ounce of me was hurting last night, but it was worth every ache and pain and muscle spasm, because it's something that's needed to be done for a very long time. And if anything, this is forcing me to actually do things that needed to be done. So I will show you the back deck. There's like barely, I feel like hoarders. There's a little space for us to walk down the stairs. But that'll all be off there tonight, besides the recyclables, which go out tomorrow night. But all those bags and some stuff we found along the way in bigger boxes can go out tonight. So that'll be good. Got my doctors in an hour. I'll be leaving here probably in about half an hour. Sun's shining. It is 50 right now. They said we're going up to 73. So I've got a t-shirt. I've got a t-shirt on. I've got a t-shirt on. I'm trying to decide whether, I think I'm just going to put a cardigan on, because the reason I wear my jacket, and that tan jacket, I've washed and washed and washed it, but all the months of leaning up against Ashley's car, putting groceries in the back when we're doing Instacart, it just doesn't come clean. And I always feel so dirty wearing it. Like I'll feel like, God, put a clean coat on too. But I don't have any, well, I do. I have my photography jacket. Maybe I'll just wear that. What I like is pockets. I need pockets when we're working. Because if we take a job on Ashley's phone, I take my phone in with me and there's nowhere to put it. But I think a cardigan will probably be better, to be honest. I'll probably end up with a cardigan with no pockets, because I don't carry a handbag in and out because of, you know, we leave the trolley and especially in the fruit and veg section, you leave the trolley and we kind of run and get things, because it's quite hard to maneuver around there sometimes, especially when it's busy. But people just leave their trolleys everywhere, and then they're constantly restocking because it's such a popular store. They're constantly restocking. Anyway, we'll decide. Because I've got leggings on today, because if I do go for an X-ray, if I'm wearing something with a zip, I have to kind of take them off, and I don't want to. I don't know if I'll be able to bend to put them back on, even though I don't feel as bad as I did last night. But when I first got out of bed this morning, I woke up with a banging headache, which is gone now. It's all connected. I stood up and I went, oh no, I can't move. I couldn't move. But, you know, as you walk around, I stayed up. I think I woke up at like 7:15. I stayed up because what's the point? When I know I've got an appointment or there's a certain time of the day I have to be somewhere, that's all I focus on until that's over with. I don't like going to the doctors anyway, but like I said, it's just a follow-up. It's not as bad as it used to be. We used to sit sometimes 2-3 hours in the waiting room, but he's in practice with other people now. And I think with COVID too, they kind of separate a bit more. But yeah, that's it really. Asha can hear her downstairs. She's just taken Luna out. Then I want to do over there. Now I'm on a roll with the bedroom. I want the bedroom because I love this corner. But I need to do that trolley and bring it. That'll take another, that'll be for next week, because I don't want bags on the deck all week. I think we've got enough to put out tonight. We don't want to frighten the guys off where they don't want to come to our house again. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. It's Tuesday. The sun is not really shining. It's kind of dull, but I'm sure it'll burn off. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll definitely talk to you in a little bit. Here is everything to go out. bags are on top of each other. Otherwise we would have no room to walk out in his recyclables for tomorrow. It's beautiful. The sun is out. Couldn't see it before. But yeah. Office. Which is just one exit, one thing past Wegmans. Wegmans is on the other side, so look at my arm. Started bleeding last night. This is where Luna got me the other day, but I looked at it last night. It looks like a V. The shape of it. Like, thanks, Luna. We're in Yonkers. We just did one here, which we've done before, but we've hit right as the school's getting out, so the buses. Oh, I thought that was a real deer then.
Wild deer in Yonkers.
But it's so pretty now because a lot of the cherry blossoms and all the blossoms are coming out in the trees.
All these street names are named after Indian tribes.
Are they?
Yeah, we're on Iroquois, we were just on Mohawk, we're on Seneca.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to live in Yonkers, but it's very close to the city.
Yeah, you're pretty much the Bronx at that point.
Yeah, we've done a lot in Yonkers lately.
These ones have a massive deck.
That does have a massive deck. Is that like a two-family in it?
Yeah, over the garage.
Yeah. All right. More cherry blossoms. So pretty. We were behind a school bus though, who didn't know what he was doing. Once the school bus stops, they have a stop sign that comes out. The four-way flashes go on, and you know you're not to pass that bus. But this guy, after he would drop somebody off, he would move on, but then he would just stop randomly in the middle of the road, not letting anybody off. We don't know if he was checking his GPS or what he was doing, but one car tried to go around him. As soon as the car went around him, he started to pull out. It's a bit dangerous, especially when you got kiddies on board. Anyway, we will see you. We're going to go back now. We've got to get a few things ourselves. Just got home. I actually stopped at the school. Thought I was going to have to give up because no one was coming to the door, but then a teacher that I happen to know was walking in. I'm like, can I just go into Maddie's room? He's like, yes. So I had a chat with Maddie. But I've got stuff to fill you in on. It's been an interesting day, like something the doctor said to me besides about my back and stuff. We talked about other stuff, but I'm going to fill you in properly when I've chilled out a bit. I'm in a lot of pain right now. It is 5 to 5. I've made a coffee and treating myself. See my biscuit? That pretty blue flower biscuit. Yes, treating myself to a biscuit. Ash has gone in her room with Miss Luna. It's so hot up here. Normally I'm freezing cold up here, but I need to put on PJs and just chill out now with this coffee. I need to take something from my back. Pete texted me actually that he'd left work early and he'd already been by and put everything out in the street. So I was so grateful because we only did that one job. That's all that came up. But just walking has been a bit of an issue this afternoon. And I know it's because of a lot of doing and carrying all this stuff downstairs and all that stuff. But I just was so grateful to get that text that we didn't have to lug it up to the street. He left work early, so that's good. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Peter. It was a lot of bags. Oh, I showed you, didn't I? Anyway, Mum, I just saw that you wrote me, so I'm going to respond to you. Jen, I just saw that you wrote me. I'm going to respond to you. But first, I must get changed and put a T-shirt on and some PJ bottoms. And, well, I've got a T-shirt on, but another one I can sleep in after. But, yes, it's coffee time. But, yeah, and I had an interesting chat with Maddie as well. So it's like, people do like me. There again. Anyway, it's 25 to 7. I'm going to end the vlog because I have a feeling tonight's going to be one of those nights where I fall asleep. And now I'm going to yawn in your face. I'm very sorry. Tomorrow is New Avon Day, campaign 8. That is the reason I stopped by the school to give Maddie some new books. I didn't know if she'd still be there because it was 4:30, but I was just going to leave them on her desk anyway. I was just chatting with Maddie because I'd mentioned before they were, you know, about having to do the civil service test and, you know, what it would take for a job like in a school, obviously, any school. Just talking, this was earlier, a couple of months ago. But she told me today that, you know, I should talk to somebody in the business office there because they often look for temps and stuff for administrative work. So that was good. It was just a real quick chat, and it was just a nice little positive, you know. So I kind of filled her in on our situation. I have to go back because we have some yearbooks that we came across while we were cleaning out the office from different years when Pete and I were doing yearbook. And Pete said, what do you want to do with them? And there's no point me holding on to them, to be honest with you. They're in great condition. They've not been opened, you know, flick through and that. And so he said, check with the school, see if they want them. So I did, and she said yes. I enjoyed that little chat. Told her that Ashy was pregnant. Ashy? I told her that Ash was pregnant because she was really upset when she heard that Ash lost Ashton last November. So that was nice. When I was at the doctor's office, just quick, I did put that little teeny tiny bit of video in. That just shows at the very bottom underneath where I put, you can see the rods and the screws, and he said that that is holding very well. The fusion is holding strong. But what has happened, the 2 discs above, which he told me last time I was there, were compromised. Well, they're now flat as pancake, nothing there, no protection. He said what's happening now is you've got bone on bone, which is where your pain's coming from, which is right above the rods and screws. So he goes, look here and look here. He goes, there's nothing there. No padding, no whatever's in a disc. So, you know, he said a few things I could think about, because I said I really don't want to do surgery, especially in my predicament right now. I don't really want to do surgery because I'd asked him once before when he mentioned it. Sorry. And he had said that the surgery I would have would be the same surgery, which is where they take out the discs, put in bone, which is what they did last time, and it didn't grow. So that's, you know, but that's by the by. If we did it again, he would take bone from my hip and then more screws and that. The only thing that worries me as if I even did consider something like that, then does it mean that the 2 discs above that then are going to get compromised, and then I'm going to be in the same position, and am I going to end up with a spine full of metal, which is not ideal. The one thing it did do, because he said his exact words were, now, I've been going to him for a very long time. Ashley was little. My surgery was a very, very long time ago, and it was a 6-month recovery, and to be honest with you, it was horrific because it didn't stop the pain. And you know, I've seen him ever since then, a couple of times a year. Now he wants to see me in 3 months again, so we're going to keep a closer eye on it. But his exact words were, your discs are horrible. Now I've got people asking when it started. Well, I've been told now that it's degenerative disc disease, which I was told a couple of years ago, a few years ago. Because that's the, you know, because when people say what happened, nothing specifically happened to have it start doing this. I've been having back issues since Ashley was like 2 years old. I was going to physical therapy and stuff. But I had endometriosis, and I had severe endometriosis where I had several laser surgeries and stuff like that, trying to kill it, doing whatever they do to it. But it just kept growing back, and it was on my bowels, it was in my back. So I was on some pretty heavy stuff. I used to have to go for shots once a month. Sorry if this is getting a bit too graphic, but which just stopped your menstrual cycle. So that way it wouldn't grow. But it didn't work. So I had several months. I'd go into the office, have a shot. I forget what the shot was called, but it was from heavy duty stuff. Side effects was joint decay, not joint decay, but breaking down of joints and stuff like that. So now my one doctor said, my obstetrician said that had nothing to do with that. Obstetrician, my gynecologist, sorry. That had nothing to do with that. And then this one was saying, yeah, it could have had something to do with that. So never really got a clear thing. So I was suffering with endometriosis and back issues at the same time. So we weren't quite sure why all the pain was coming. Was it coming mainly from the endo, or was it coming from the back? So this has been going on for years and years and years. And that's why at 36, decided it was time to do the full hysterectomy, because, you know, the reason I say so much about this stuff is like maybe it will help somebody. Stacey made a good point yesterday when I was getting upset over something. She said, by telling your story and being honest with it, it might help somebody else that is going through something. I'd never even, when I was diagnosed with endometriosis, I had never even heard of it. And it kind of frightened me because I'd never heard of it, and it was something foreign, and my mum wasn't here for me to be like, Mum. I mean, yes, we spoke on the phone, of course we did, but, you know, it's not the same when you're not feeling well and you haven't got your mum. But I always suffered with terrible pain. So, yeah, I ended up having a full hysterectomy, and at 36 years old, that's why I always say I've been in menopause for 20 odd years, because I have. I went right into it. They couldn't save the ovaries either, so everything was gone. So if you're suffering from terrible period pains, guys, definitely get checked out, because it took a while for it to be, I guess, the diagnosis for me. So, yeah. Ashley was always worried that it would be something she would end up with, because it's not really hereditary, I don't believe. Maybe it is. It's come a long way now. Like I said, I'd never heard of it. Now there's groups all over Facebook and different things for it where, you know, you talk to other people that have had the same thing. I'm still having hot flashes and stuff like that. So it's been a long time that we've been dealing with this. So anyway, talking to him about that just kind of justified why I'm still in pain, which made me feel good in that sense, that it's not, you kind of, when something goes on for such a long period of time, you start to think to yourself, is this all in my head? Even though you're feeling the pain. I've heard about phantom pain, this pain, that pain, because when I first had my hysterectomy, I could swear I was still having like cramping and stuff like that. So, you know, and they would say, oh, that's phantom pain. I'm like, phantom? I feel it. But anyway, but what was interesting, when I first walked in the office, he said, hi, what's new? I go, how much do you want to know? And he goes, what's new that's relevant to what I may want to know? Coyote in backyard. Oh, in town. So anyway, that was funny. We had a joke about that. And I was just saying how we're cleaning out, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I was saying that, you know, he's also the one that did Pete's knee replacement and other things for Pete over the past. We've been going to him, like I said, since Ashley was a toddler. Pete's brother, Pete's father went to him until he changed doctors. Like, the whole family goes there. So I said something about, you know, cleaning up the house doesn't help the back any and that, but that's why the back's more of an issue at the moment. And he said, where are you moving to? I said, I haven't got foggiest. I said, no idea. I said, the house will go on the market. Once things start to roll, then I'll, you know, start to really think about where I'm going to end up. Right now, there's no point. And he goes, well, I actually have a cottage that I rent out. He said, you know, just keep it in mind. We'll see each other at the office when you come back for visits. And he said, and if these people leave and you're looking at that time, it wasn't, I said to Ash afterwards, it was so kind. Like, it was so nice that he would even say that to me. Like, you know, that he's known me for a very long time. Because I said, well, I might even end up back in England. And he was saying that a couple of his doctor friends were English. They went back to England. They went to London. And after 6 months, they came back to the States. So they didn't want to stay in England. And I'm like, I know. I said, you know, I've got my mum there, my brother's there, different areas. But I don't have, like, a bunch of friends in England because being an army brat, we were in Germany for all my schooling. So my friends were all over the place. One of my school friends is in Florida, which is my Jane, who used to live here but then moved down other places, and then now she's in Florida. My other friend who I went to school with, who found me on Facebook, she's in Australia. And then another one of my school friends is in Canada. They're all over the place, like not a lot go back to England. And I even noticed that by going on those school pages for our schools, like a lot of people are all over the world. Like, it's so funny because we grew up moving. You know, my friends are all scattered, so it's not like when, I always loved it when Ashley, like, she went to primary, elementary, we call it primary, elementary, middle school and high school with the same groups of friends. And it was really cool. Like, I used to get really emotional, especially going down to the school when it was like band night and different things and all the schools got together. And it's just like that sense of community. I didn't have that growing up. And I'm not saying I would change anything. I wouldn't change the way I was brought up because we were very lucky living in Germany as many years as we did, because we put the caravan on the back, 3 military families. We'd all go off to different countries for summer holidays, winter holidays. We were always with people. And it was always a lot of fun, and I wouldn't change it. I saw so much of the world by doing that. You know, my dad preferred the caravan to a hotel. There was always a few families that all went together, and it was like a little convoy when we'd leave, and it was always a lot of fun. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't change anything, but I do love that Ash is part of a community where she grew up and went to school with people that she knows from kindergarten. And now she still can rely on them. Anyway, so it was just 2 kind of cool things anyway, that it's like, yeah, people like me, yay. The fact that he would even offer a property if it became available was just cool and kind. And I'm like, well, it must be all right then, Ash, because I can't see, you know, maybe he offers it to anybody. But it was just kind of, when he said, where are you going to go? I'm like, well, I really don't know at this point. I think, wow, 12.5 minutes. I need to stop talking. Edit. I've edited so far. Let's edit this part. Get you up. It's 10 to 7 now. And then we're only going to pick for dinner, I think. Whatever's in the fridge that we can bung in the oven, microwave, fryer, anything will be for dinner. And that is it. My biscuit was really good. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, please. The couple of numbers have gone up a little bit. I haven't checked Avon, but I think I'm still, when I checked it this morning, I'm still at 74%. Am I even signed in still? Let's have a quick... Oh, wrong one. Where are you, Avon? I must have closed my Avon. That was silly. Oh, I know why. Because I was checking something else before I left, and then I just kind of closed it down. Oh, I knocked it off by accident. Oh my goodness. I could honestly just get into bed and go to sleep, but new Avon day tomorrow. How exciting. The new bigger books. I like them. I just saw 100%, then I realized it goes back to Star Promoter, which is, I've achieved that. But here's Brond. Yes, still at 74%. Come on, my lovelies. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I did notice, like I was saying before, it's gone up a couple today. That's exciting. I will not quit. I will not quit. I will not quit. I hope you've all had a brilliant, brilliant Tuesday. Whatever it is you did today, I hope it was a good one. And we'll definitely see you tomorrow. Take care, guys, and stay safe.